I had a strategy call with a workplace law firm, and the partners wanted to see how they could use AI and automation to increase their revenue. Here was what we found on our call. The firm was spending thousands of dollars every month on Google ads to attract new clients, but their conversion rates were low. After reviewing their intake process, they discovered a major drop off. Many leads were submitting forms after 5 p.m. when their intake, paralegal, and receptionist were no longer available. By the time those leads received a response the next morning, most had already gone cold or hired another firm. We proposed a simple but powerful idea. What if someone could respond to every lead instantly? We built an AI lead response agent trained specifically for legal intake conversations. The agent automatically responds to new leads within 60 seconds, 24/7. It personalizes each message based on the inquiry details and guides the lead toward one clear call to action. Book a consultation with the firm. Here is the actual workflow I created to demo to my client with some basic inputs to paint the idea of how it could work. We created a form that will feed our workflow. After a lead submits their intake form, it will pass through two of our function code nodes. This will standardize the inputs for consistency and actually score the leads so we know which leads have the highest potential and which leads do not. Let's take a look at the form example I put together that asks some basic questions for the law firm. We have name. Have you been dismissed from your employment? If yes, reason for dismissal. If terminated for misconduct, did you receive previous warnings or letters of reprimand? Do you have an employment contract or agreement? Has your employer offered you a severance package? Did you belong to a union? And lastly, we have email. Going back to the workflow, I did a test submission to show how this will work. You can see in the pinned data that a submission was received with the questions answered in these. The information is passed on and standardized with the code I wrote with Claude. Now that we have consistency, we pass the lead details onto our code node where we will actually score the lead based on the criteria we set. You can see from the output in the scoring details the sample scoring system we use to rank the lead. For this lead, you can see that we categorized this lead in tier hot, which is what we used in our next node to determine which agent to feed this to. Why? In our logic, if the tier is hot, we send the lead to our high tier LLM that will create a message to send to the lead. Here is a very basic prompt I set in place just for an example. I wrote, you are a professional legal intake specialist for a workplace law firm. You're writing to a high priority. Lead score is greater or equal 75. Your goal is to 1, acknowledge their situation with empathy. 2, ask only the critical missing qualifying questions. 3, drive them to book a paid consultation via Calendly. Be professional, concise, and action oriented. Show urgency where appropriate. Based on this prompt, you can see that an email is created. The problem is that if we want to actually send the email, we need a way to structure the data so we have the right fields in place. That's why we have another code node to help us accomplish this. Skipping on to our Gmail node, you can see the input is ready for us to drag and play. Simply drag the fields you want. For this email, we have subject and body. Let's take a look at the actual email we sent from this example. Dear Alex, I am sorry to hear you were dismissed without cause, especially given you have an employment contract and a severance offer on the table. This is a high priority situation, and we want to help ensure you receive everything you're entitled to. Before moving forward, could you please confirm if you have signed any severance agreement yet? Also, could you provide the notice period specified in your employment contract, if any? Lastly, please share your phone number so we can discuss your case promptly. Important, do not sign any severance agreement before speaking with us. To protect your rights and explore your options, please book a consultation as soon as possible here. What was cool about that email is that it referenced the intake form and had a specific call to action as a real intake receptionist would. This is a much stronger response than the typical "thanks for submitting your request. We will contact you as soon as possible." This is just a short example. There are many workflows we can build on top of this and conversation agents to take this even further. If you're curious on your automation potential, feel free to schedule a free strategy call with me at salesout.ai.